obviously standing up next to it. But I'll be pushing in with my foot, turning it upside down. If it wasn't dry, well, what do you think of the beach sifter? That's made for the sand, obviously. I've got other tools for the dirt. Of course, this is for gardens. It's kind of heavy, but it'll work. I've got my Garrett AT. That's going to help. I've got two of these containers, one for good, one for ugly, and all the rings and coins are going in a pocket. I don't want to lose them twice. But this was a couple hours before the first part of the video there. I don't even have it together yet, so you're going to have to see what I do with all this stuff. I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. So basically I've got two 45-degree 4-inch drain pipes. This would be in your garden center at Home Depot or Lowe's. This isn't found in the plumbing section. And what this is for are gutters going into a drain outdoors rather than sewer plumbing. And that comes with things like grates. We'll get this sticker off. You see it goes all the way through there. I got to peel that off yet. But the idea is I'm going to cut the shoulder off to make the flange, and then I'm going to turn these where they're crosshatched, and they'll be able to come out as well for cleaning or whatever I need to do with that. But I do have blue tape that I'm going to put on here to make a cut line, to be able to put them inside these. I got to cut these down, get them a little bit shorter so the piece I put in from the donor piece will fit in and glue up, and it's going to be beautiful and work great. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I have them both taped up. The pieces that I want to cut, where it's not taped, there won't be any cutting. And as you can see, the width of the tape, it leaves about 3/8 of an inch. And so what I'll do is I'll mark about 1 inch all the way around this, leaving a good 1/2 inch lip on the inside to receive the piece of the donor from this. The other one will stay whole. And I'm marking that where it's cut. I'll get them both marked up and I'll be right back with you. Of course, that did make a mess. I've got all the pieces fitting together nicely. And I'll line up the marks. I'll get this all glued up. Put a little bit of tape on it to hold it in place while the glue sets. Just because I have a gap to fill, I'll be adding a little bit extra glue on the back side there. But we'll let it dry. Obviously the ring fits in nicely because that's the way it's meant to go. We've got our PVC glue. piece. Add a little bit of extra glue to it. I feel it getting tacky there. That means melting that plastic. Like I say, line up the marks. Put some tape on it to hold it in place. Yeah, so I've got camera troubles here. Battery's dead. But anyway, on the inside I'm going to glue that where any of the particulates might end up. Looking beautiful. I do have it taped up, I do have it lined up. I'll let that set and dry. As you can see, that's a 90-degree bend now. I didn't buy 90s, I bought 45s. And now I'll be able to put my rings in. And this one will hold it in place. As you can see, I can dial that in any which way to collect what I'm looking for, or let more sand out, and hopefully not any rings or pennies and dimes. We're wanting to keep the quarters though. Alright, I cut that at about a 15-degree angle and scooped it so it fits the profile of the tube. And that's going to attach there. I also have a piece of 1¼ drain pipe that actually fits over to 1 inch, nice and snug. And that will touch on the opposite side and be glued there as well. So lining this up, I see that it touches the back side here. And then these pieces for the shake tray will be here. All fitting nicely. Put it together and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, they didn't know it, but I did have a piece of 4-inch CPVC from another project, so I did cut me a digging scoop out of that. That'll be going right here. But first I've got to drill some holes down into the handle just to make it stiffer. And I made some nails. These are just square nails. And I made that from the piece I cut out off of the inner part of that. I had 2 of these. So I found a drill bit. It's a little bit smaller than the corners of that. So I'll go ahead and drill that down inside, put some glue down in, and tap those down, cut off anything remaining. Sound like a good idea? That's what I thought. So, I don't want this part to come apart. Try and get 3 of those in here. I can get in, the stronger this will be. There. I've got several holes that go into the handle piece. I'll also put one through here. That way the glue has got a nail, even though it's a PVC nail, it's got a nail that will help hold the pieces in place when it's being used. So I'll get that. Get two of them in there. See, it's going into the handle there. Now this one's not drilled clean into the back end, and I think it's deep enough, so I cut off anything remaining. You see it goes through right there and into the other handle. I'll cut off a little bit that's remaining. There'll be a little tab to help hold the filters in place. I did have to tape them just because everything was so loose here. And I'll leave it where the fatter piece is down, or on the outside I should say. That way it starts to break things down there. Put that piece in, put this one in sideways to that. Looks like I'm going to cut off a piece to get that to get past the handle. Part of making it, figuring things out. Okay, just cut a notch. So the first one drops in just fine. I'm going to turn that horizontally, and this one's going to go vertically. After it's down in, it can be turned though. You do need the room to get it to drop in. So now it can be adjusted any which way. Matter of fact, that might be a way to lock it in. Might have come up with my own invention right there. But you dig and then drop. Everything drops out here. What do you think? Got another one drilled here. Like I say, these are square pegs I'm using to nail this together in a round hole. Definitely stiffening it up. The glue is meant to ld a tight edge, not a gap. though it was cut and sanded to the profile, it does need to set up in there snugly. And with all the foot action it's going to have, pushing on it here to dig into the sand and then dumping the sand, that still may not be enough. I'm trying to do all this without nails, any steel, brass, or anything else, just so I can get the metal detector near it without setting off a signal. In other words, I could pick sand up, test it with the metal detector, find whether I have it inside or not, and then shake it out. And that's what this is all about, is to be able to shake out the sand without a lot of effort. I think I'll put a magnet at this end, a big base magnet, so when I do tap it on the ground, it won't drop into the sand. Oh yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 PVC nails in there now. And you can see inside there, they're sticking out. I'll go ahead and file those off after everything sets up. That won't take too long. I think I like the way this sets. I can reach down inside as well and turn that other basket so I can do a diamond to dump out more sand faster, yet holding pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, rings, or the occasional Hot Wheel. I have found Hot Wheels out on the beach. I'm liking this design. I think it's nice and strong now with the added nails here and the 7 nails here. It isn't moving. We'll have to give this a test at the beach though. So we've got our little playground today before the cats get into it. This is fresh out of the bag. We have a penny, nickel, dime, a quarter, and a washer. And we're going to put them in here. And we're going to see how the digger works to find them. We're not worried about a metal detector finding it or anything else. So let me show you how that's going to work. I'll be obviously standing up next to it, but I'll be pushing in with my foot, turning it upside down. If it wasn't dry sand, I've got the magnet on the bottom to be able to tap it. There's the quarter. So this is working the way it was designed as a digging tool in dry sand anyway. It's self-emptying. It'll be the wet sand that will be the trouble, I think, where I'll need to tap it on the ground. I might want to put a shield here just to cover my hand, so any of the debris that does fall, if it's wet and cold, I might not want that cold on me. It wouldn't take much, maybe just a little milk carton piece with the side of each bottle, anything. I think I can do that.